Our show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We're going to have a great show for you guys today. Before we get started, let's say hi to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
How do you do today? I am sitting next to probably one of the sexiest, most glamorous movie stars in the world. But I have to do something. Her wire is covering that cleavage, and that's upsetting me. And the hair is covering the cleavage. That upsets me.
As long as it doesn't cover my cross.
No. Anyway, there we go, boys and girls. Boys. Okay. Go, Jimmy.
All right, what's up, everybody? So we want to welcome Laurene. Say hi to everybody, Laurene.
Hi, everybody.
We have
Hello,
a chat room
out there.
We have a chat room full of people. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat room. And I have some special highs. We want to say a really hi to Tim O'Donnell from Laurene. Say hi to Tim.
Hi, Tim.
There you go. And then we have Dawn in there. Say hi to Dawn Hinton.
Crazy Dawn, I love you.
And Crazy Dave Hughes just showed up from the UK. Say hi to Dave.
Oh my God.
He's our resident perv.
There goes the show. Listen. I want to warn all of you guys out there. What you're doing now, you can go blind from.
So we also want to say hi to all our loyal regulars that we love to death. What's up? Michaela Singleton is here. Anton Country Super from Australia is here. Teresa Sabin is in there from Florida. Jane Doe, Angela Joseph is in there.
Hey, Angie, baby.
Say hi to Angela, too.
Hi, Angela.
Yay, you guys. So we're going to have a great show for you guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. Besides having the wonderful, talented, and beautiful Laurene Landon on our show today, we're going to have Robert Kool Bell, founder of Kool and the Gang, 7-time Grammy winner, and Wesley Eure from, if you guys remember, Land of the Lost and Toolbox Murders and all kinds of great things. So we're going to have a great show for you guys today. In the meantime, what are you doing, Ron?
I was sticking a thing up her thigh. A part of the mic.
Thing.
Listen, everyone out there, before you have shit fits and start writing and screaming, no mask, you're going to die. Laurene's been tested, obviously, and I have been tested because I'm having a little eye work done next week.
He has other problems.
And
anyway.
Jimmy's been tested. So we're all negative, and we've been good. So we don't think that either one of us have the virus, and that's why we're not wearing masks.
And they say that you look fabulous.
Who says that?
Everybody in the chat room says you look fabulous.
Oh,
usually
you.
Ron gets all the you look fabulous, but you're here today, so you get it.
Dental floss, but thank you.
Move your arm. I want to get this wire over your shoulder. Hold it.
Here, pick this up. You got plenty of slack.
Nothing should interfere with the cleavage.
There's plenty of slack. There you go.
My plastic explosives, you mean?
They look fabulous.
Thank you.
Hey, Rebel, too. I'm not sure. Like I can see Laurene, but I don't see it on the YouTube screen. Just to let you know. I see it on the studio side, but not on the YouTube side. But I guess everybody's saying she looks fabulous, so I guess they can see it. I just can't see it. Okay.
So, wait a minute. I want to ask her a question.
Thanks a lot. You can't see it?
So, Laurene, how excited and wonderful and fabulous and terrific is it being here with us?
It's okay. It's great. I was really surprised coming out here because I thought it would be about a 3 or 4 hour drive. And it was only a 6-hour drive. No. The community here, when I've been here before at night, seemed much smaller, and it is massive. Your community, the track that you live in, it is so beautiful. And the GPS girl kept telling me the wrong thing, and I kept passing your house, and I saw your address. And I knew I was here, and it said, no, keep going. Go this way, go that way, go. And I said, no, I'm going to turn her off, and I'm going to go back. And for once, it wasn't a blonde. It wasn't a Polish blonde.
No.
Me.
Those things on
She must be Polish and blonde.
No, she's definitely fake news.
Oh.
The girl that gave you all that information.
Oh, they always give
That's
you
her
the wrong.
GPS. That's okay. We used to live in Pennsylvania, and every time we would put the directions in,
Yeah.
no matter what, it would always take us to a toll road, so we had to pay a toll.
Communists did
Of
that.
course, communists. Let's not
They
go.
did that. The communists of Pennsylvania.
Let's not go there.
They wanted to get our money. So anyway, we're happy to have Laurene here because all of you know that I love and adore Laurene. She's one of my sweetest.
Oh,
Eat your heart out, guys. Eat your hearts out.
Thank you.
Friends, I went public with her health problem because I was totally in shock and worried. I thought that we were going to lose Laurene, and I couldn't deal with it. So I said to everyone, prayers and energy sent to
Thank
Laurene.
you for all your prayers, by the way.
And
thank you so
Laurene
much.
is going to tell you now how wonderful she feels.
Okay. First of all, I was in the hospital for about 6 days, stage 4 renal disease failure, and because of hypertension. And the only reason I posted that on Facebook was because to hopefully enlighten people that 80 million people in the United States, 80 million, 33.5%, I believe that would be, have hypertension, high blood pressure. And 16 million of those people do not know that they have it. So what I had done or not done was not take my Norvasc, Avapro, Avalide, and other hypertension medications over the years for various reasons. One is that I did not have insurance. I let it lapse. So I didn't see my doctor for a couple of years. And in the meantime, hypertension will destroy your heart, because your heart and kidneys go hand in hand. I spend a tremendous amount of time with a nephrologist, cardiologist, everybody at Cedars-Sinai. And because when I was taken into the hospital, the only available floor was the oncology floor. That was the only available, I guess, because of COVID. I don't know. Now I know the spike is astronomical, from what I heard yesterday from one of the doctors. Astronomical because of the protesters, by the way. Anyway, so I was on the oncology floor, and I guess I shouldn't have put that in my post, but that was the only reason. That was the only bed I was available to have at the time. I did not have cancer. I do not have cancer. I'm back to stage 3. I'm on a plant-based diet, and have a very positive attitude. And I done a lot of introspection. And put down the magnifying glass and picked up the mirror and realized that you truly are what you eat. So no more fat, no more dairy. I can't have dairy, which is terrible because I love cheese.
Me too.
Damn it! I want my
Me
fucking
too.
cheese.
Me too. I love
That's all I want to eat is cheese. So I take all these blood pressure meds, and I'm fine. I'm not dying. I'm not going on dialysis. I'm not having a kidney transplant that was initially thought at the hospital. I am going to be fine. So thank you all for your prayers. It was very scary for the doctors when they saw me naked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
They were all passing out.
I bet you those doctors are blind.
One of them's in love with me, but we won't go there.
I could bet that.
Oh, he is. Anyway.
Another thing, though, you guys, wait,
is the doctor single?
No, Doctor who?
Is the doctor single?
No, he's doctor married, actually.
Oh, then
that
fuck
stinks.
him.
I know.
But if you could catch yourself a single doctor, you could live well. Doctors make a lot of money.
Well, there's other things more important than money.
Bullshit.
So in the meantime, you guys, we have Laurene on in live and in person so everybody can see her. For all you producers and directors out there, she's nothing wrong. She's fine. She's available to work.
I got news
and she's
for
one of the
you.
best actresses in Hollywood.
Yes, I am.
Tonight we're having dinner with the producers and directors at our house, and they all want her in their next movie. So that's 2 films coming up. Already they want Laurene, plus she's being asked in other films with other people.
And she's going to be in Clown Motel 2 with you.
That's right. So all of you out there, don't.
That's not what.
Okay. You know you are. Stop bullshitting me. You play my wife.
Okay.
Yeah. She's my wife, and there's a scene where we're both naked in bed having wild sex, and I turn around and say to her, "Oh, by the way, I'm gay." And then she says, "Oh, no, you're not." And I said, "Oh, yes, I am." And she said, "You can't be gay." And I said, "Why?" She said, "Because you're a great male lover." And I said, "Listen, just because you're gay doesn't mean you don't love beautiful women." And that's the dialogue.
Yeah.
Do you make this up as you go?
Because
this wasn't in the page that was sent to me.
No, but listen,
by the way, they're all saying they prayed for you.
Wait, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Move the mic and lean forward towards the camera. Dave Hughes, this is for you.
This is for not just Dave Hughes. It's for Tim O'Donnell, too.
Tim O'Donnell. Lean forward. Come on. You got him flaunting.
There you go.
There you go. Boys, now, ready? 1, 2, 3. It's over. Okay. We came fast. Wow.
This is a Giovanni dress, by the way.
I love it.
Isn't it beautiful?
You always look gorgeous.
always
though.
look like
you
a
always look like
movie
a movie star.
I wouldn't come here unless I was in a formal. I know there was no red carpet, so I thought I'd bring the red carpet here.
There we go.
That's
We
right.
Love it.
But Laurene always looks like a movie star. The first time I met her, she was with Harry Cohen at the
Larry Cohen.
Larry,
Cohen.
Larry, whatever. I'm sorry, Larry. Why did I say Harry? Anyway, Larry Cohen at a red carpet. And I walked up to her and I said, "Oh my God, you are a 1955 movie star. Jane Mansfield, Marilyn Monroe,
Yes, she
Mamie
did.
Van Doren,
Yes, she
all
did.
the great beauties." And Larry Cohen just gave me the dirtiest look. He did. He kind of like thought, "Who the fuck?"
He was very protective of me.
I know
Absolutely.
that, but he didn't know that I was a big bag. He thought I was a sexy Hot Rock Hudson type
He
guy.
did. He did.
Sure.
He thought you were.
They're saying how beautiful you look, and Dave Hughes now needs to go to see the ophthalmologist because he said he's blind.
Yeah, I warned you.
Hi, Dave.
Hey, whacking. Listen, whacking. My father always said that if you whack off, you go blind. And that's why I'm having my eye done next week. I have a cataract, and we're going to take the cataract out, so I could see that cleavage clearly.
I actually say hi to Dave, like in a sexy. Just say hi, Dave, or however you do it.
Hello, Dave.
There you go.
No, say this to Dave. Say, Dave, I dream about you every night.
No, it's the other way around.
You dream about me every night.
That's it. Dave is finished. Dave, get the towel. You're
I'm
finished.
joking, Dave.
Dave is
I'm
finished.
joking, Dave.
Teresa Saban loves it though, and so does Don Hinton saying Ron.
No, Dave, the towel is in the bathroom. Go get it.
There you go. You gotta
Where
love
does
it.
Dave live?
I
In the
think it was
UK, someplace.
UK. I thought he was Australia.
No, it's UK. No, Anton is in Australia.
Anton's Australia. We have everybody.
Hey, Anton, what's
We
up?
have the whole world here.
Hi,
you know.
Anton.
Yeah, Anton's fabulous.
Did you know
Yes,
that
it
your
is.
cleavage is now going out to 180 countries?
That's all.
That's all. That's all there is in the world. What do you wanna do?
177, I think.
177.
Unless they made some new
And
ones.
and possibly if it transmits into outer space, it may go to another planet,
Let's hope so.
and that'll bring the aliens.
I'll be my
here.
own satellite. I'll be my own moon.
No, but the aliens
Are
will
you-
come here
Huh?
to see your moons.
I'll be my own planet.
No, aliens will be here to see your moons.
You gotta love it. I think it's fabulous.
You know, folks, you could see her on screen. You think she's beautiful. Nothing like in person. I wish the camera it was in 3D because you have to use a 3D camera to see how beautiful she is. And her face is real. Her beautiful nose is hers. Everything on her face is real. There's no operations.
Never
or
had
face-
anything done to my face.
No
Never.
facelifts or anything.
Never will.
And she's 133, and she looks like 40. Look how young and beautiful you are. You're
I'm
so
not
gorgeous.
133. I'm 144.
No, but you're so beautiful. She's a fabulous actress also. I know all of you
Thank
fans
you.
out. You
Oh.
fans out there love her.
We want to give two more shout outs. Thomas Claxton just joined us in the chat room. What's up, Thomas?
Other horny son
He's
of a bitch.
fabulous. And B. Claudia from
B.
Germany. You know
Hi,
B, right?
Sweetheart.
Yes.
I love B. Hi, B,
love B.
sweetheart.
There you go. Oh, and Backpack John joined us too. Say hi to Backpack John.
Yeah, but
Hi.
Clapton is such a he must be drooling by now.
Claxton.
That's what I said.
You said Clapton.
Well, I like to change people's names.
Yeah, I know. We know that.
Thomas Clapton. Tommy.
Today's Canada Day, by the way.
Oh yeah, Happy
Yes.
Canada Day, everybody.
And,
That's
and today's my roommate's birthday, Addison Wright, is his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday,
July
Addison.
3rd. Happy birthday, Addison Wright.
Happy birthday, Addison. Actually, I
Happy
sent him the link
birthday.
to watch, so I know he's watching. Hey, Addison.
Happy birthday, Addison.
Oh, and Pat Grant from Canada just joined us. Happy Canada Day. She says hi, Lorene.
Yeah,
Hey,
somebody.
hi, everybody. Boy, there's a lot of people in that room. Oh my God.
Somebody emailed me and said, "Wish Laurene a happy Canada Day." Goes,
Yeah.
Laurene is from Ontario.
From Toronto, Ontario.
Oh,
yes, I am.
Toronto,
Same place, Toronto, Ontario.
right? And she's a Canadian import,
Yes, I am.
just like our Sherry Nelson, another fabulous
Oh,
beauty and a
Sherry's from
sweetheart. She's a
Canada?
Canadian too.
Where's she from? Where in
West
Canada?
Coast Canada. She lives in a town of 88 people. That's it, 88 people.
I
no
know that
more.
would make me want to die.
She knows every single person. No, she knows every single person in that town. They're like one big family. 88 people in the town. Could you imagine?
Does she live here or does she live in?
She lives there.
We're
She'll be
trying.
coming here soon.
We're trying to get her here.
Sherry,
you
I
know-
thought Sherry lived here.
No.
No, she's trying to come to America.
She came though for the Oscar parties and everything with us. She just came in as a tourist.
I
to go
told her
with
just to
us.
come over the border and come in as an illegal alien, and then she'd become a citizen.
Like everybody else.
No, I mean, she could be a citizen.
You know, my parents waited out 12 years to get over here legally, when I was a child. So I have certain feelings about coming across the border, obviously. I think it should be done fairly, justly.
Well, we're not going to talk about that.
No, we don't
Let's
talk
go to
politics.
Marcel Waltz.
We don't talk politics.
Marcel Waltz, who you know, and Dom, his husband.
Yes.
They're German and they're fabulous guys, and they can't get in the country, and they're afraid that maybe their time here is limited. I think that's hideous because they're wealthy, they're producers, they're actors. They come here with a lot of money, and they're not drug addicts, murderers, killers. They're just wonderful two guys in love and happy and dear friends of ours. So I don't get it, America. Let's start to open up and let people in our country legally. The good ones. Screen them. If they have criminal records, don't let them in, of course, obviously. But if they're good people, hardworking people, and I don't give a shit where they're from, Mexico, China, the moon,
I don't either.
let them in. Let
Just
them in.
Get here legally, like
actually,
everybody else.
Pat Grant says that she's from Ontario, but she lives in Labrador. Have you ever heard of Labrador? I think that's like a little teeny place too.
No, I've never heard of
I
Labrador.
thought Labrador was a dog.
Yes.
No,
That's
you're
funny.
a dog.
Okay, so our guest is in the studio now. So go ahead, Rebel. Let's let him in, and we'll make sure we can hear him, and then we'll start talking. All right, everybody. So now we have coming on the show. Hello, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
Yay, we can hear you. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, seven-time Grammy Award winner, American Music Award winner, and founding member of the legendary pop group Kool and the Gang. Robert Kool Bell, hello and welcome to the show.
Welcome, Robert.
Hey, how you guys doing out there?
We're fabulous. How are you?
I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time sitting next to these bazooms, these knockers. I can't concentrate on the show. I just keep seeing these big, beautiful balloons hitting me in the face.
I don't think he's really gay.
So hold on. Let me introduce you to everybody.
Hey, Kool, what do you think? What do you think about big boobs? You like girls with big boobs?
Zooming with the booming? Okay.
I love it.
So let me introduce you to everybody, starting off with my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, no smoke up your ass, buddy, but I really like your fucking music. I really sang to it and danced to it and had a good time over my couple of years of being a young boy.
Okay, Ron.
Then we have actually movie star Laurene Landon. This is Robert Bell.
How do you do, sir? I am a very big fan of yours for many years and love your music too.
All right, Lorraine, how are you?
Very well, thank you, sir. How are you?
And I'm
Why
Jimmy
are you being
Star.
so polite? You sound like you're a virgin or something.
I am.
Yeah, right.
So, and I'm Jimmy Star. We want to welcome you to the show. We have an actual chat room full of people. So please just say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Yeah, and Jimmy Star's the fan.
Hey, hello there. How's everyone doing?
Everybody is fantastic. They're all very happy that we've got you here. And we're going to talk about all kinds of cool things. But last time we had you on, we didn't really get to talk because we had such a bad connection. And Ron had a story about Celebrate. So tell him the story. This time he can hear it.
You know, I swear to God, I'm not. This is going to sound like some bullshit story I wrote up, but it's
It
not.
is.
No, fuck you. It's not. My daughter Leslie was the runner-up in the Miss America contest, Eastern Division, and she won. And when she came down the runway, they played Celebration. And I began to cry so hard because I'm going to cry again. I was so happy that my daughter won. She was Miss New York, Miss Long Island, Miss everything, you know, beautiful girl. And your music is associated with her win. Celebration, you know. So every time I hear Celebration, yeah, well, I'm not singing it. I only sing Johnny Mathis or Peggy Lee. That's all I know how to sing. But every time I hear Celebration, I get all choked up because I think of my daughter and the wind. I think Celebration is a song that should be used today, a celebration for all the people that want equality. And I think it should be a celebration. And I think your song has got to come back. We need it back in our ears.
Well,
Wasn't that nice and poetic? Say something. Say like, "Oh, Ron, that was really great." You know, you really know how to bullshit.
You need to flatter his ego.
No, you got it. You have to say, "Ron, you really know how to bullshit. You're good at it."
But it wasn't bullshit.
No, I meant that from my heart. I love Celebration. It's
well,
one of your
thank you very
favorite
much,
songs. One of my favorite. Who wrote that?
Well, my brother was the key writer of the song, and the other original members, we all chimed in together. So Celebration came after Ladies' Night. We had just won 2 American Music Awards, and we were celebrating. And the one part of Ladies' Night had said, "Let's all celebrate." Brother said, "I got a great idea for the tag of that song." We said, "What?" "Celebration." He played the track, and the rest was history.
You gotta love it.
But it's such a good piece of music. It's not like other kinds. It's really big sound. You know, if you remember, everybody out there, do you remember the song? Of course you do. And it had a big volume to it. It was really inspirational. It's a wonderful song. I think it should go.
No, knowing that we were bringing you on, I spent yesterday working. I'm a publicist, and I was working in my office, and I put on the Kool and the Gang Spotify playlist, and it's unbelievable, like how many hits. Like, it was playing for hours, and I knew every song, and I was like, holy shit. You know, most people, like, you go, and after 3 songs, that's it. Like, you don't know any more of them, but your playlist plays forever.
Now, I want to ask you a really important question. Did you make money, or did they rob you like they robbed so many of our friends who are very famous singers?
Well, let me put it this way. We made some money.
Okay, so they robbed you, the son of a bitches. We have a very dear friend. I could get Joya Bruno. And Joya is from the group Expose. She worked her nuts off. She made like $5-10 million, right? She got Zorch.
She made way more than that. They had eight top 10 hits. They had 8 top 10 hits.
Nothing. She got nothing. Could you believe that?
They got $200 a night to sell out a 50,000 thing arena or whatever. And
That's
they got
what went on
$200.
back in those days. CeCe Pennington, who's our dearest friend in the world, with her song Finally.
She got robbed too.
They used it in the movie Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and never gave her a nickel, never gave her the rights.
And they changed the name of the song.
So, of course, we got CeCe, and I gave her a piece of my mind. I said, girl, get the fuck out there and sue those mothers to death. Get money. So isn't it sad how the music business is so fucked over?
Yeah. Well, hopefully it will change in the future. But yeah, you're talking about back in the 70s?
70s and early 80s.
70s and 80s, everybody got robbed.
So first of all, everybody in the chat room is saying what a legend you are and how legendary you are, and you guys are right. So let me do a little bragging for him, because I know that.
Wait, I want to say something first. You know, we cannot play your music. We're not allowed anymore. The Nazis, I call them the Nazis. They stopped us from playing anyone's music.
We used to play music of all the guests that came on the show.
We would have played
because we play on YouTube. YouTube doesn't let you do it. Facebook doesn't let you do it. Twitter, nobody lets you play it. So we can talk about the songs, and then when I put it up on TV channels, I can add videos and stuff to it. But doing it live, we're not allowed to play the music.
So we would have definitely played.
Otherwise,
we would have had Celebrate on for sure.
We had John B on, and we played one of his songs, and we got shut down in the middle of our interview.
It's Nazis. It's those Nazis.
We don't want that to happen.
We don't want that to happen, because then we don't get to talk about all the cool things. So here's some of the legendary things, you guys, for Robert Kool Bell. First of all, Kool and the Gang, they sold over 80 million records worldwide. They had 25 top 10 R&B hits, 9 top 10 pop hits, 31 gold and platinum albums. And some of my 3 favorite songs, Get Down on It. That's really my favorite one. Get Down on It, Celebration, and Ladies' Night, but there's a zillion more. The guy's like a total legend, and you guys are still touring, right? Well, not right now during COVID, but you guys are still touring, right?
Well, before the Corona blues, we were doing about 100 shows a year. But right now, we're not working probably until...
Nobody's working because of the stupid virus.
Yeah.
Now listen, with all the money, with all the fame you've got, did you turn into some kind of a stupid ass snob?
He's on our show, so he's not a snob.
No, a lot of people are nice.
Hey, I do my own shopping. I just was at Publix earlier today.
There you go.
You sound like a regular Joe, a guy I could be friends with.
If you only know, I'm a regular Joe. That's why I'm on this show.
Yeah.
Yo.
He writes lyrics as he speaks. I love it.
Yo, listen up. I meet a lot of people that I knew from 30, 40 years ago when they were nothing. Now they're working and they think who the fuck they are. And I want to remind them that, you're not that great. Not you, them. And they get very offended. Would you
Of
get
course.
Did you ever have somebody come up to you and say, "I hate your music. It sucks. I never listened to it"?
Not directly, but you know, I can be sitting in a restaurant somewhere and I can hear them talking about me.
But
Because
nobody says.
huh?
No one could say anything bad about your music.
Well,
They got to be fucked
Yeah, they
up,
could if they're jealous. All those jealous
or
people.
they're hard of hearing and they're hearing some other sound.
But think about it. If you were like a one-hit wonder, which we don't want to like, not
Knock
say anything
one
bad to
hit
anybody,
home.
but let's say I had one hit that sold, 1,000,000 records, and I'm sitting next to you, and you sold like freaking 100 million records, and I might be like, hey, I don't like your shit. My shit's better, even though I only got one hit and you got like 50.
Yeah, but would I upset you if I said to you, Johnny Mathis is my favorite singer in the world?
no,
What
you
do
wouldn't. No,
what do you think of Johnny?
I like Johnny Mathis.
I
Johnny
love
Mathis,
him.
me
I
too.
know him.
I got
I
some
know.
of his CDs right now, right back in my patio there.
There you go. We listen to it on our patio too.
Yeah, Johnny.
So
I've met Johnny a couple of times, and he's the sweetest guy in the world. I love him to pieces, and his voice is better than Sinatra. He's probably the greatest singer of our time because he's made more people get pregnant and more people get married.
also, though, you got to remember, because Ron's time is different than everybody else's time.
Yeah, I'm an old fuck. I'm
'Cause
80
he's
years
80.
old.
He's
80 years
80.
old. I'm ready for the box. I'm ready for the box, and it's not the box next to me. It's the wooden box.
You like that one. So, all right. So let's do some more bragging. So listen, you guys, this is Robert Kool Bell, Kool and the Gang. And one of the things that we're going to talk about, because he just launched his own champagne line. It's called Le Kool Champagne. The website is lekoolchampagne.com. That's LEKOOL champagne.com. And tell us a little bit about the champagne. I know it's available, from what I read online, it's available in New York, California, and Florida. Those are all the three places that we go a lot.
And I'm still waiting for the free bottle you're sending.
They're on the way.
You want us to push it. We got to drink it. I understand that your champagne is natural, no preservatives or stuff. Am I right?
No, it's a mixture of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay.
Oh, that's why I loved it. I'm a Pinot Noir freak. I love Pinot
So tell us a little bit give yourself a good plug about the Le Kool Champagne.
Well, I started about, I guess, a couple of years ago. I was touring over in France, and the guy came up to me. He was a promoter. He said, I got this champagne on Barry White, the late Barry White at the time, also one of the BGs, and I would like to do a champagne with you guys and sell it at the concert. I said, well, I prefer retail, because you sell it at the concert, somebody's going to pay $60, $70, $80, $90 for a ticket. Then they're going to buy a bottle of champagne too after that.
That's a good point.
They might get a T-shirt or a cap. Anyway, long story short, I came up with this idea, concept for a champagne called Le Kool Champagne. And
Hey, how are you priced?
Well, reasonable. 80, depends on the retailer or the restaurant. They can charge as much as they want.
I mean, are you priced like Thunderbird or Ripples?
No.
Remember the old days?
You're terrible, Ron.
Remember the old days when we used to drink Ripples and Thunderbird? Yeah, I used to drink it when I was a kid. 15.
I was just doing an interview yesterday with some of the guys I grew up with, and we talked about Thunderbird and Orange So Good sitting on the corner in Jersey City on the corner of the project singing those songs.
Me too.
One day they'll be able
Wait,
to
I was born and raised in the Red Hook projects in Brooklyn. What projects were you in?
Lafayette, Booker T, Pacific Avenue, Jersey City.
Oh, Jersey. You're a Jersey boy. Okay. I was a Brooklyn boy. So you and I should really have a Ripples drink one day, or a Thunderbird, in memory of the good old days. But anyway,
That would be
where
great.
can we get your champagne?
Well, right now, like I said, it's in state of February. State of New Jersey just added us. So we have New Jersey, New York, Florida.
What stores? What
In
stores?
stores, or is it mail order? Yeah, go.
No, it's stores.
Well, that's really is coming out. They have records in New York, but we're just kind of like getting out there. You go online too.
It's got to be delicious if it's Pinot Noir. I love Pinot Noir. There's nothing better than steak tartare with Pinot Noir and a piece of stale bread. Oh my God, is that a meal? So how is your champagne with food? Is it a drink it alone or drink it with?
Well, it all depends on the occasion. You know, in terms of the food, I would say fish.
Okay. Can I have cake? Can I have cake, pastries, or cake with it? Is it good? No, don't laugh. There's a champagne only for cake, you know. It's a dessert champagne. Is your champagne conducive to cake?
Ron just likes cake more than he likes
food. I don't
food.
give a shit about. I hate fish. So that was a lousy illustration. Now,
if you want to gain weight, you can have it with cake.
He loves pasta.
Well, that's because I'm a mafia guinea from Brooklyn. You know, you got to watch your ass with me, Laurene. You could be my.
Can you have it with pasta?
You can have it with pasta, sure.
You can have it with pasta. Why not?
Wouldn't Laurene make my good gun mole? You got to be my chick. Like, you know, I'm a mafia guy, and you're my broad, my chick.
But we are already.
I know. We're in a movie together. We play husband and wife, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And I said there's another movie that we're meeting with the producers tonight, where I play a mafia king, a head of a mafia, and I suggested that Laurene play my tomato.
Actually, hold on. Go to him. Have you ever? Because I know you're on TV a lot because concerts and stuff. Like, have you ever been in a movie, or has Kool and the Gang been like featured, like playing in a movie?
No, not yet. But we're working on a movie sooner or later, probably next year.
Well, let me know about that because I'm a fucking great producer.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Well, let me tell you the working title right now is Hollywood Swinging, #1 with a Bullet.
I love it. Hollywood
What is it about? What's it about?
Growing up in Jersey City and dealing with just like most of the other groups, dealing with the good time, the hard time. But that's the concept.
Did you see Jersey Boys?
Yeah.
The movie? I went and saw that movie, and Ron was like, "This was my life."
It's true. It's absolutely the truth. I mean, I used to go shopping when everything fell off a truck. I mean, I one time went up to the church.
Fell off the truck.
There was a church in Brooklyn, and next to the church was a house with a long staircase, and they had suits that were hot. So I went up and I rang the bell, and a cop answers the door, and I got scared. I said, "Oh, excuse me, is this the priest's house?" Make him believe. He said, "Get in here. The suits are on the rack." $50 for like $300 suits for $50. I was the best dressed guy in Brooklyn.
So Ron, you said it when they fell off the truck in Jersey City. When the solo truck stopped at the red light, we should take the solos off the truck.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Listen. You know, it beats high prices at Bergdorf's. It beats Bergdorf's high prices.
I think so too. So let's see. You want to ask him? You got any? Think of a question.
Meanwhile, if you need a sexy blonde in your movie, this tomato is really hot looking.
Yeah, and she's been in a great.
Yes,
movies.
he is. This tomato.
Oh, and she's got great legs too. Watch it. We almost shot.
I'm 5'10".
You almost shot her beaver.
We almost shot your beaver. Look at her. Look at this sexy tomato. Too bad Jimmy and I are gay, or we would have a threesome going to
We already did this morning when I got here.
They're going to believe that.
You guys think they're gay, huh?
Kool.
It's a trick.
Did you know that I married Jimmy?
Yeah, we're married.
Yeah, I had a concussion and I got married.
I also want to say, like, I saw your interview with Michael Damian because he's a very good friend of ours.
We love Michael.
And it was a lot of fun.
Michael Damian, yes.
Michael's a buddy.
Yes.
And his wife Janine, I'm crazy about her.
Yeah, on the soaps, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're really good friends, and he's got a bunch of movies that he does, and we actually met him because he originally became a guest on our show like 10 years ago. CBS contacted us to bring him on the show a long time ago, and so it was a lot of fun. But
and we also did his red carpet for his first movie. I interviewed all the celebrities on the carpet, and I think that he was going to have a nervous breakdown because he never knew how I interview. And I interview like
Ron. Will this take long?
It can.
Continue.
Okay, no, you didn't. You got to think of a question.
No, I'm listening. I just thought.
No, because we need to
This is the Ron Russell show with Ron Russell.
No, we need to.
Oh, is she not a bitch or what? I'm going to take back my introduction to you.
No, we need to promote more. Okay, so first of
joking.
all, you guys don't forget. Okay, so it's Kool Champagne. You can get it if you're in New Jersey, New York,
York.
Florida, and California. The website is lacoolchampagne.com. Are you in social media? Like, do you do your own? Do you have like a Twitter or an Instagram or anything? Do you do any of that stuff for people or no?
Coolagain.com, and the champagne is thecoolchampagne.com.
There you go.
I'm just getting social in the media. I'm old school.
That's okay. Yeah, he's old school too. He does Facebook, and then I do his Twitter and his Instagram.
See, I'm not. Well, she said I couldn't speak, so there you go.
So okay, so let's see. Let's do bucket list. Like, do you have who are some, like when you guys go on tour? Who's some of the funnest people that you guys have like gone on tour with? That you had the most fun. Maybe everybody else doesn't think so.
I don't know, like the funnest. I know we had a great time with Van Halen with David Lee Roth.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Party that much.
We did 48 shows with them.
How cool is that? And that's David Lee Roth Van Halen. That's like Van Halen, like the way they used to be back when the real deal.
He just came back though. He came back to join Van Halen. The other two brothers. Yeah.
Was he really a choir boy, like I hear?
Well, he was good with us. I mean, he was doing, David does his thing. I know the ladies love him, right?
Absolutely. I'm sure they were like throwing panties everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
Which that makes it like a whole fun. So when you guys are out performing, do you have certain songs that are your like favorite ones to do?
Well, of course, everybody want to hear Celebration, but like Get Down on It, fresh, funky stuff, Hollywood Swinging. And I have to say Summer Madness.
There you go. Okay, Hollywood
Because
Swinging,
what
Summer
was
Madness.
really good about your group is you never really had the same sound. Celebrate and Get Down on It are absolutely two different sounds. So it was always a fresh new piece of music. It wasn't like, oh shit, like who was it that somebody? Oh,
Do you want to get down?
Anita Baker. Anita Baker came out with a great song. Shut the fuck up! I'm speaking. I really hate the both of you. Anita Baker came out with a song that was a smash hit. I forgot the title of it, but everybody knows Anita Baker's song. And then she came out with 3 songs after that sounded exactly like it, and Anita Baker disappeared. Had somebody really advised her to change her sound, she may have existed a little longer. Now let's talk about my girlfriend, Miss LaBelle.
Have you guys ever performed with Patti LaBelle?
Yeah, many shows back in the 70s. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's his favorite.
She is the greatest female vocalist in the whole world. LaBelle can do anything, sing anything, hit any note.
Range, the greatest range.
She is the most incredible singer. I love and adore her. And I was going to ask you if you had a phone number. I want to call her. Patty and I are the same age. We were born the same year. Patty's 80 as well as I am. And she made that beautiful cake. And I ate her cake and became a diabetic. I mean, she's got the cake. It was her grandmother's recipe. Her grandmother's recipe, or great grandmother's recipe, and it's cobbler. It's like $8.
What's cobbler?
Cobbler. Like peach cobbler?
Like, I think hers is blueberry. Anyway, I bought it, and I had to get a wheelbarrow to wheel it home. It was that heavy. It is the most delicious cake. Oh, you ever have Patti LaBelle's cake? Her pies?
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah. The pies is absolutely.
They're not very good. They're delicious.
Oh,
but
better there, Ron.
No, after you eat a slice of her pie, you run around the block at 30 miles an hour for 2 hours. So much sugar in them. And Patty's a diabetic. And I would love to say to her, Patty, you're a diabetic. Why didn't you do a sugar-free pie? And the answer would have been, who the fuck wants a sugar-free pie? I'm not going to speak anymore, Laurene Landon.
Wait. Let him, he just said something, but I didn't hear it.
What'd you say, Kool?
Say it again, Kool.
Somebody's selling so well. That's it.
There you go. So listen up. So when the COVID thing gets up, Kool and the Gang, you're going to be going back out again then, right?
Yeah, probably going to start off in Europe.
Where in Europe?
Well, we're looking at Germany, possibly in France, Italy. We do quite a bit of shows.
Actually, we have Germany in the chat room. Say hi to B, Claudia. She's in Germany. Say hi, B.
Hello there.
There you go, B. There's your hello. They're coming. Kool and the Gang is coming to Germany. And so if people go to koolandthegang.com, that's where they'll find your schedule?
Absolutely, yes.
So you guys go to koolandthegang.com. You can find out where they're going to be going. Can they order Le Kool champagne off of your website?
Yes, LeCoolChampagne.com, yes.
So you guys can get the champagne at LeCoolChampagne.com. Are you allowed to ship it to the other states that you don't sell it in?
Well, I mean, the United States is a little strange in terms of cutting deals in every particular state, but online, you can go anywhere.
Okay.
Do you think you'll ever be coming to Palm Springs? And if you do, will you comp us that night?
I love Palm Springs.
He answered he loves the Palm Springs part. Yes, Palm Springs is fabulous.
I didn't hear that, Ron. Another part of
No, you got to comp us because we give you free PR. Don't forget. We go see your show, we write about it, and we go all over. You know, right now there's over 5
million people.
5 million people are watching and listening to
right
us.
Now.
So if I say Kool and the Gang sucked, terrible show, don't go. Nobody goes. And if I say
right.
And if I say Kool and the Gang is great, everybody goes. It's worth the comp. You know, it's kind of like
the ego might be a little big there.
No. Kool, you're from Jersey. I'm from Brooklyn. We know how to work it. One hand washes the other, babe, right?
All right. So, Ron, you're the man.
Yeah, Ron's the man. He said, "Hey, Ron, you're the man."
Yeah,
he thinks he's the man.
We gotta stay in contact with you.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
Yeah, what do you think about that? I mean, yeah, fans.
And we'll cook dinner. You guys can all come over for dinner. Everybody always comes over for dinner.
Fabulous chefs.
I make Italian.
Not me,
food.
him.
Jimmy couldn't cook his way out of
I couldn't cook my way out of a paper bag.
Even if Jimmy was on death row, he couldn't.
Yeah, I can't cook, but I do the dishes.
Yeah, but I'll cook a great Italian meal.
Tell them what happened with the dogs, with the watermelon.
Oh, yeah. You know,
we won't believe
we're
this.
expecting Laurene to come here, and we have guests coming tonight, producer and directors. And our big dog is 135-pound. He's a bull mastiff.
Fila, Brazilian.
Brazilian Fila, and he's vicious. So, not with us, but with strangers, because we need that. You know, we have to protect ourselves from people who dislike gay people. So he grabbed a watermelon and brought it into the foyer, and all 3 dogs ate the watermelon.
All over the floor.
All over the floor. So do you know what it's like getting watermelon juice dried off of a wooden floor? It's a motherfucker. And I had to get on my knees and scrub that floor because Laurene was coming, and I didn't want her to think that somebody peed on the floor.
No, you would ask me to scrub the floor. You've done it before when I come over.
No, I only would have asked. No, I would have asked you.
Can you clean the toilet, please?
No, I would have asked her to get down on her hands and knees and scrub the floor so I could watch her ass wiggle as she was scrubbing the floor.
We are so politically incorrect on this show.
Yeah, you know what? But we're a lot of fun because Kool. Right now, don't you feel like we're all buddies hanging out? It's not a stupid show. Don't you feel good?
He's thinking, what the hell am I doing on this show?
No, Kool is cool. I know who to play with and I know who not to. If you're one, pull up your ass waspy person, I don't play with you because you have no sense of humor. But Kool is cool.
Do you have a comedian that you like?
It's been a while. I mean, he's back in the day. Eddie Murphy, this one, that one.
Oh, I love Eddie Murphy.
How about Dave Chappelle? He's my
Chappelle?
favorite. Dave Chappelle's my favorite. Dave Chappelle. Do you like him?
I like Louis. What's his face? Louis Black. I like Louis Black.
Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle. Do you like him?
She hit me, bitch.
Fuck you, bitch. I love Dave Chappelle. He's a scream. Do you ever hear him? Do you ever watch him?
He says whatever he comes out of his mouth, he says it, and whatever. Yeah.
I love it.
He's my favorite.
Now 15,000
by
people,
far of all time.
I gotta love it. So anyway, here's what we're gonna do, you guys, because we gotta keep moving on. This is Robert Kool Bell, you guys. First of all, Kool and the Gang, one of the biggest, most popular, most legendary groups in the history of music. They're fabulous. Robert Kool Bell is a wonderful fucking musician, cool guy. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Handsome.
You guys, everybody's got to get the Le Kool champagne so they can go from 4 states to, how many states are there? 51? 50? How many states do we have?
Are you stupid or what?
Yeah, I don't even know how many states are there.
I'm not going to tell
You don't even know. That's why you're not saying. Well, I think there's 52.
There's 51.
51. Okay, I was right. So we want it to be taken in all 51 states. Believe it or not, I graduated
Depends
sixth
on
in
who
my
you talk
class.
to.
Yeah, in Florida. In some.
Hey, listen, the governors are shutting the states down every hour. Oh,
Yeah.
you can't come here. Don't bring it here. Oh, don't come to New York.
You got
Don't
like,
go to LA.
you're terrific.
Hey, listen, Kool. From me to you, thank you for celebration.
God bless you. What an honor. What an honor and a privilege.
And you're certainly worth your name. You are cool.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. We wish you all the luck with it. Anytime you got anything to promote, let us know. We'll bring you back, and we'll promote all we can. So thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
I think Ron coming out with us, Ron. You know, in Europe next year, Ron.
Hey, baby, we're going to hang and we're going to
Yeah,
really
open up,
talk
man.
about.
He'll come, and we have B. Claudia. She's
Serious.
in Germany. Hell.
No, we could talk about our early years drinking Thunderbird and singing in the project hallways. Remember how the sound was great in the project hallway?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it was better than any sound system today.
That's
We
a good
all us guys,
How so?
we used to harmonize. What songs? Earth Angel, before his time. I mean, I'm 80 years old, so when I was singing in the halls of the project,
That's all?
Well, Laurene, I thought you were my friend. But anyway, we used to harmonize. Bum 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 bum.
those days.
Remember that?
What about that one? I got no money in my pocket.
No, my song was I'll build you a castle in the sky. Built for you an idea, built for you and I. Boom, boom, boom. Or I used to love those rock. Those are, you know, I want to do a quick story if I have a minute. I remember.
No,
No,
please.
shut up. I
Don't.
remember in our neighborhood.
Please,
No,
God,
listen.
no.
I want to talk about how we have grown and how we are really not what people think we are, a racist country. Because when I was a young kid,
you're not supposed to talk about
I'm not talking politics, I'm talking truth. When I was a young kid, if you walked in the white neighborhood with a portable radio on your shoulder and it was the ink spots, let's say, people would yell, "Get them off the radio." Okay, and I used to go, "Fuck you." Anyway, we've come a long, long way because today black folk rule music. I mean, we love all of the beautiful black entertainers that are out there, with Miss LaBelle all the way down to CC.
They're the best ones.
So I think we have come a long way, and I think we should understand that. For the young kids today who think they're being suppressed, no, you're not. My day, you were suppressed. 1950.
Wait a second, though, because now I have a question since we kept him on the air. So in Get Down on It, who's the guy who does the voice at the beginning?
Get Down on or Jungle Boogie?
No, Get Down on It.
Get down on it.
Okay, that's the lead singer at that time, JT Taylor.
I love that deep voice. Like, do you want to get down?
Get
Get down on it. I love it.
Nobody was better than Barry White.
Oh no, they were
I mean,
better.
you want to talk about baritone, Barry White? Oh my God, was he fabulous?
Oh my God.
Was, yeah.
Did you ever meet Barry White?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Nice guy,
Probably,
I bet, right?
it's probably more to say who he hasn't met, because he's probably met everybody.
I bet Barry White, I think, would have been a regular Joe also, a nice fella, right?
Absolutely. We worked with Barry back in the day. Several concerts around the world.
Yeah, he was another great entertainer. Great entertainer.
I gotta like
What
him.
a
I knew
voice.
Sammy Davis Jr. That's my claim to fame. Not too many people met Sammy Davis Jr. And Sammy was the funniest guy in the world. A prankster, a jokester. If you went to sit down at his table, the seat was pulled out. I mean, he was just the funniest guy. And I met him at the Copacabana the night I went to see the Supremes back in 1962, maybe. And he really...
I wasn't even born.
He promoted... He really promoted...
You weren't, were you?
No, he promoted the Supremes. He really was in favor of making them famous.
Yeah.
Did you ever meet Sammy?
Yeah, we were on the Johnny Carson show when Sammy was the host.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
How cool is that?
I wish,
Johnny Carson show.
What year were you on? I was on the Carson
Oh,
show.
man, early 70s, way back then.
What year?
I just say way back in the day.
In the 70s, she said. He
I
said.
was on the Johnny Carson show with Dudley Moore
There you go.
when all the marbles on Either Jury and Airplane 2 came out. I was on the Best of
When we said she's a
Carson
movie star, we
twice.
weren't lying. Like, she's like a movie star.
She does real movies, not porno, but real movies. I mean, I was suggesting.
What?
I wanted to do a porno.
I love doing pornos.
I wanted to do a porno.
I don't
with
do
her,
pornos ever, never.
but I was trying to talk her into doing a porno with me. We didn't need a camera. We would just like rehearse the porno, and then maybe shoot it one day. You like that, Kool? All right, Kool. I'm a dirty
Cool.
old man.
Yeah.
I'm a dirty old man.
I still think he's straight. I
I'm
don't
just
care
an
what
old
anyone
pig.
says.
No, I'm not straight. I was married for 16 years, and I love
You were married to a woman, though.
a woman, and I
And you
love.
had two women.
listen,
You had two beautiful
I
children.
I love putang. I'm not.
What's Putin?
Putang is what's between your legs. But I mean, sex is beautiful. Listen, I asked Tony. I see this every time. Tony Curtis was a buddy of mine, and I asked Tony. I said, Tony, you wrote in your book you're gay. I mean that you made it with men. Are you gay? He said, I'm not gay, Ron. He said, I love sex, and I don't care who it's with. So that's how I am. I love sex too. I mean, I would do her in a minute if I wasn't married to Jimmy.
What a perv. Everybody in the chat room was like, Laurene needs to just smack you. All right, so we're going to let you go. Kool. Thank you so much. You guys get thecoolchampagne.com, you guys.
Kool. I look so forward to meeting you in
You're very
person. I think
handsome,
we will
by
have
the
a
way.
blast.
Oh, she's real quick. She said you're very handsome, by the way. You can respond to that one.
Yeah, well, thank you very much.
There you go.
I'm sure you know that.
All right, Kool. Thank you so much.
You
Hey,
guys
everybody.
take it now.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
Bye, Kool.
God bless.
Hey, everybody. So that was Robert Kool Bell from Kool and the Gang. Lots of stuff
And he
going on in the
really,
chat room.
really is cool.
He really is
And I
cool.
wasn't bullshitting. If they come to Palm Springs, I'm cooking dinner for these guys. We are going to have a blast. Kool and I together, we could rock the earth.
He's a very cool
He's a
guy.
funny
and they
guy.
really have had so many hits.
Great sense. I have an insight. I know who I've had some bitches on our show that you couldn't do shit with, and the shows were bombs. They didn't get like 10 ratings. And when I got people like this that I know how I can play with, the ratings go through the ceiling.
So let's talk to Laurene a little bit.
No,
so
I'm not talking to her because she's very mean to me.
Oh yeah, right. That's you're telling everybody on. That's you're telling 5 million people how you'd like take her poontang.
So
I didn't even know what it meant.
I
Until
got
he
news
said
for
it.
you. Any straight guy that wouldn't want her poontang ain't so straight.
That's true. So hold on. Let's brag a little bit for.
Especially if he has cataracts.
Let's brag a little bit for you. So you were on Johnny Carson with Dudley Moore. Was Dudley Moore nice?
Yes,
I always
I
had a crush on Dudley Moore.
Yeah, I used to
kidding,
date
Dudley
Dudley Moore.
Moore?
He's cute though. He's a
Get
cute little
outta
guy.
here.
I dated him, but I found out he was dating Susan Anton at the time.
Yes, and you know what? I heard he had a dick the size of like 11 inches. Yeah, the
I
hugest
never
dick.
saw it. I never
He
saw
had,
it.
well, he had that little.
We never slept together.
That little
No.
5-foot guy I heard had a wang that hit the knee.
He
was
probably
hungry.
did.
No, I swear to God, I'm not lying. He
Is
had-
Susan Anton, was she kind of like your competition because you were like both like hot
Well,
blondes?
she was older than me. She was, older. All I only know,
Okay.
she was older than me, and I met him on the Tonight Show. And what happened was, Johnny Carson was making jokes about me wrestling and being this, doing suplexes, airplane spins, drop kicks. And he said to do a move on Dudley Moore. So I picked up Dudley Moore, swung him around, and carried him off the stage, right? And Dudley Moore was screaming, laughing. The whole audience was. And so we started seeing each other after that a couple of times.
That's cool.
And then I found out through a friend of mine, a producer friend of mine at MGM, that he was heavily involved with Susan Anton.
I knew that. He likes those tall, thin blondes.
Oh, he wouldn't stop calling me.
No, because
And
he likes crawling up your legs.
he found out where I lived. I didn't even tell him. He showed up where I lived one day, but I didn't let him in. And I never let him out either. But anyway, that's another story. Thank you.
So you guys, so she was in this movie. So let's tell them some. Airplane 2. Everybody knows she's the hot stewardess in Airplane 2. All the Marbles. Tell us some. I liked all the jury. I like I the Jury a lot.
Thank you. That's one of my favorite films
so-
I've ever done.
And
too.
so tell everybody a little bit about I the Jury and all the Marbles, just so people know, like because they don't realize what kind of royalty you are sitting here.
All the Marbles was a huge MGM film at the time. Pardon me. I starred in a movie with Peter Falk, Columbo.
Yeah, Columbo.
And they saw over 2,000 women for the part. And one of them was Kathleen Turner. And
you dogged her, yeah.
Jimmy, you're so fucking loud.
That's okay.
and they narrowed it down to, pardon me, 12. My throat's dry.
Okay, have a little drink. That's why I put that there.
And it's lemonade. Laurene does not do drugs and does not drink.
That's right.
No, I don't.
Actually,
drink.
it's water.
It is water. Anyway, so they narrowed it down to 12 of us, and from that 12, they sent us to a screen test at the studio, and then from that 12, they called me one night and said, "It's now down to 4. You're one of the 4." And Larry Cohen kept saying to me back then, "You're going to get it. You're going to get it." And to me, it was an impossibility. I came from, grew up in El Monte from Canada. And the only thing I really had in my favor was I was extremely athletic. And
extremely beautiful. Don't forget that.
No, not.
Oh, please, Laurene. I saw pictures of you.
Everybody in Hollywood is beautiful.
No, I saw pictures of
No,
you.
not really.
Ago.
Like, look at all the commercials on
I mean,
TV now. They're putting all the ugly people in
ugly
commercials.
people. You'd never get a commercial today, Laurene. Never.
Yeah, you're too beautiful.
You're too beautiful.
Ryan can't get one either.
Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Oh, that's
so anyway, they narrowed it down to 4, and they sent us to wrestling school for 12 weeks, and then the actor strike hit. And what Vicky Frederick and I did that the other 2 girls didn't do, we continued to go to wrestling school during the actor strike because our passion, desire to get that damn part eclipsed anything, everything. We had to win. I was so competitive growing up in school, in high school, because my dad wouldn't let us go out with boys ever. Never, ever, ever. No dates, no nothing. And so he encouraged us to do sports. So that really precipitated my getting that film, I'm sure. And the last day of shooting, the wrestling sequences, they called us all in. This is in rehearsal. And they sent 2 girls in the front door. They went out a back door. Then they sent me, and I was the 3rd one in, to see Robert Aldrich, the director, who I kept calling Robert Altman. He didn't think that was too funny, but I didn't know. I was 19. And so I went in the door, and he said, "Well, Alf," because he always called me Alf Landon. And he said, "You did a really, really good job. You worked your ass off in the wrestling training. You have done an unbelievable job." And he says, "But," and he's looking out the window.
Uh-oh.
And I know. And I screamed, "But you don't want me for your movie, right?" And he says, "No, but you're not going to play the part you wanted to play. You're playing Molly." And I said, "You want me in your movie? What's wrong? Are you okay? What's wrong? What's wrong with you?" I mean, I was in shock. So he said, "Go out and tell Vicky Frederick, tell her something bad news. Tell her she didn't get it. Tell her, just get out there and tell her it's real bad." And I said, "I don't want to do that, Robert. That's not nice." And he said, "I don't give a shit. You got the part. Get out there." So I went out, pardon me, and I went out, and Vicky's sitting out there looking at me, and I said, they want you to come in. And I said, "It doesn't look good." She said, "What?" And I said, "I'm so sorry." Yeah. She said, "Oh no." I said, "I'm sorry, Vicky."
I'm so sorry.
So she walks in, and as she walks in, the door closes. About a minute later, I hear, "I'm gonna kill you, Laurene. I'm gonna kill you."
So you were both in
it. So it was Vicky Frederick and myself. Yeah.
There you go. That's terrific.
He told me not to say anything to her. He made me swear. And I mean, it's Robert Aldrich, one of the 3 greatest movie directors in the history of the world. Right. The world.
They're all talking about Hundra. They like Hundra, but I like I the Jury. So let's talk about I the Jury real quick.
Okay.
And then you can talk about Hundra, because
yeah,
that's why I like, the one reason I liked it.
20th Century Fox film. Robert Eure gave me a fabulous review. Roger Ebert. I was stunned when I met him at the Cannes Film Festival. He turned me around because I was there for the Hundra at the Cannes Film Festival for Hundra, my film, the Sword and Sorcerer film. I did 48 stunts in the film, and he tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around, and it was Robert Ebert, and I was stunned. And he said, "I just wanted to tell you, you were magnificent as a Velda in I the Jury." And I don't think I ever got over that. And then he saw 100 that night, and he said it was one of his favorite films of all time. And he said after that he would never ever 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 write a bad review about me because I was absolutely spectacular. These were his words. Even after I said at dinner, because I was always just curious. I asked him at dinner in front of my directors, producers from Honduras. I said, do you mind if I ask you a question? And he said, no, ask me anything. I love you. I adore you. Ask me anything. You're Arnold Schwarzenegger in a G-string. And I said, are you gay? I was just being honest, I didn't care. I was just curious because and he says, and the producer and director next to me kicked me on both sides, and the table went flying. All their wine went all over the place. And he laughed and he says, you know what, Laurene, I love you for saying that, because so many people in Hollywood and the industry think that. Everybody thinks that and says things like this behind my back. It says things about me behind my back, and you have the honesty
to just ask.
And he said, no, I am not gay. I'm not gay. And I said,
think he was lying.
No, he wasn't. He married an attorney.
Yeah, I was married too. Does that make me straight?
Oh.
Think about it. I always thought he.
Look at her. Oh. You never know.
I talked about this on a wonderful Canadian show. What was his name? George's show. What is it called?
Meet Me for Coffee.
Meet Me for Coffee. Yeah. Was a great interview. And I was trying to say that Barbara Stanwyck was gay, and so was Robert Taylor. And they lived in a lavender marriage that Hollywood put together because they didn't want people.
That?
Lavender means both parties are gay and they get married just to cover up a beard. And so many people think
like Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown.
So many people,
like Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown.
But so many people that are fans of Barbara Stanwyck have gotten upset and said Barbara Stanwyck was not gay. Barbara Stanwyck was Martha Ray, the famous comedian singer who had a gay bar in Florida, South Florida, Miami. Barbara Stanwyck was there one night, and she was dressed completely as a man in drag with a girl, and it was a gay bar. So I don't say things I don't know. People have this idea because you're married, you're straight, or because you have sex with a woman, you're straight. People forget that there's choice. Choice is we know who we are, but we have a choice to who we prefer to be with. I was married for 16 years, and now I'm married for 9 years to Jimmy, and I'm happy in my relationship with Jimmy. I wasn't too happy in my relationship with my wife because my wife was a very famous model, very beautiful, and not a mother or a mate. She drank quite a bit. She left us and hadn't seen her children in over 38 years. Wow. And never got a word from her, nothing, or child support. She has passed away in the last 4 years. She lived a little too long, but that's okay. I'll forgive her. So we don't know why we are who we are, but we are more than who we are. And this baloney about if you're married, you're straight, that doesn't play. Isn't that boring? I'm falling asleep.
No, it's fascinating, actually.
You think?
Yeah.
So, like if I wasn't with Jimmy, I probably would make a play for Laurene, and I would tell her I'm gay. That doesn't mean I can't function as a man. I most certainly can. And I will have desires for other men, but I will not go with them because I don't believe in cheating. So if a man is married to a woman and he cheats with a woman, that's okay. But if a man is married to a woman and cheats with a man, then he's taboo. He needs to be destroyed. Cheating is cheating. When you marry someone, that's the person you want.
How about when you live with somebody?
Then you can fuck whoever you like.
No, it depends.
And
it depends on what the terms of the relationship are.
No. Marriage means monogamy. Living together means I can go wherever I want. You have no claims to me. You're just somebody I live with.
Because you didn't get married.
That's why we have a marriage certificate, you and I, schmuckface. Because
I'm schmuckface.
Because if I ever catch you cheating, you're going to become a woman because I have a knife and I will do the surgery. And you're going to be a very unattractive woman. So I got a big belly. No guy's going to want to bang you as a woman. So you're going to walk around.
As a woman, I would look pregnant.
You're going to walk around with a very vacant hole.
I think that's like funny.
What are they saying in the chat room?
Cheating is never okay.
What is Don saying? What is B saying?
Cheating is never okay.
No, it's
Dave
not.
Hughes says he's a serial monogamist.
Yeah, bullshit on that.
B says cheating is not okay by any means. Good girl, B. So hold on, because
Good
they want
girl,
to they
B.
want to hear something about Hundra. So Hundra is like kind of like that's your action Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like you're the female Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
With a
Jig, right?
G-string.
Yes, well, not really a G-string. I had an outfit on. Yeah, we shot in Spain, Almeria and Segovia, Spain for about 4 months, and I did about 38 or 48 stunts in the film, and it was the most exciting experience of my life, being able to shoot in Spain, Almeria and Segovia, where they shot the Conan film, and I fell in love with the people, fell in love with the Costa del Sol. I stayed at the Torre Luz and also stayed at the La Parra Hotel on the water, and it was an unbelievable time in my life. I was obsessed with the director and got myself in a lot of trouble because he wanted to be with all the other women, girlfriends, because he didn't want me because he knew I had strong feelings for him. So my emphasis, my priority for the film was to be the best effing actor, stunt woman that I could be.
Fucking
to
best
prove
fucking actor.
Effing means fucking.
I didn't say that.
No, but now.
So anyway, some of the scenes I'm 90 feet up in the air after running up the steps and in a harness and swinging back and forth, and there was no boxes underneath at all. So if I fell, I would have been dead.
Have all you guys in the chat room seen Hundra? Because you guys were the one talking about it. Let me know if all of you guys have seen it. Are your movies streaming? Like, can people
Yes.
stream your movies?
You can see Sky, which I star with Diane Kruger on Netflix.
Oh, and the Hollywood Reporter gave you a great
Hollywood
review.
Reporter gave me a fabulous
You
review.
guys, that's like the big Hollywood Reporter and Deadline are like the two biggest
Yeah.
things.
They gave me a fabulous review, Hollywood Reporter.
Let me say something. Laurene Landon is a fabulous actress, but sometimes, unfortunately, they put her in a film where the editing destroys everything she's doing.
Or the lighting.
No, not even the lighting. I'm
These
talking
cheap ass films
No,
lately.
I'm talking about.
Cheap-ass
I'm
films
talking
lately.
about one film in particular where your performance would have been outrageously outstanding, and they chopped it, and they ruined her performance, and I was very pissed off because I saw the edit. Most people probably couldn't, but I saw
What
the
movie
edit.
was that?
I
No,
won't
we're not
say.
gonna say.
I
We don't
can't
want
say.
Was it recent?
Yes.
I'm not saying he's a good.
Oh, I know.
He's a good friend. Don't
Oh,
say
yeah.
it. Don't say it.
I
He's a
know.
good
Yeah, we
friend.
don't.
I
He's
know.
a very good friend.
I
of
know what we're
ours.
talking about. I was
And
They're
very,
saying how
very-
elegant and wonderful you are in the chat room. You have a great fan base in our fans.
Thank you, everybody, for being in the chat room.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds
And
kinda-
that movie Sky, you guys, you really do want to see that movie Sky.
It's
Isn't
on
Norman
Netflix.
Reedus or somebody in
Yeah,
that
Norman
too?
Reedus is in it.
You guys, if you're a Walking Dead fan, Norman Reedus is in that film also.
Did anyone ever mispronounce your name?
You mean, did anybody ever pronounce it right?
No, did they ever say Latrine Landon?
That latrine is a toilet.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
My dad used to call me Laverne. My dad used to always call me Laverne
Latrine
because I
Lauren.
was a lunatic comedian when I was young, or tried
You're
to be.
still a lunatic comedian.
Good.
We have the most fun when we got
We do.
parties and we're together.
Oh, don't we?
We did drive-by shooting.
Oh God, that
with,
was great.
She came out in a gown with a trench coat, a rifle, and Mickey, those big slippers, like what are they, Minnie Mouse slippers? Or
No, they were bunny slippers.
bunny
and-
slippers, and she was the funniest thing.
Dawn says she had to learn how to pronounce your name correctly when we became friends. And Dawn, I don't know, like, didn't I meet you at Crepidus? Is that when you met Laurene, or did you meet her before that? Because I'm pretty sure we met Dawn at Crepidus, and you were at Crepidus
I was
with
there
us,
Larry.
with Larry. Yeah, so that was
But
fabulous.
I don't remember meeting Dawn there at all, but I have talked to Dawn a couple of times on the telephone, and she's
Fabulous.
She's fabulous.
Did you remember
And
meeting
so
Big
damn
Mouth
real.
there? Was Big Mouth there? Did you
Which
meet him?
one?
This Big Mouth next to you.
Of course
We invited
Of course
her.
I met you.
We invited her.
Stop
You
us,
invited
or
me.
I'm going to beat you to death.
You gave me the greatest compliment I'd ever had, I
What?
think, in my life. That you thought I was a female.
Well, what else would you be?
Uh,
A drag queen?
of course, I'm joking.
Oh
No, you said I look like a woman from the 40s or 50s.
no, 50s. I
I
called.
dressed from the 50s.
I called-
Yeah, see, Dawn met us
That
at
was-
Crepidus. We met her at Crepidus.
I called Laurene my movie star, and I only refer to her as my movie star. So whenever I write anything and I talk about the movie star, it's Laurene, because Laurene still has the glamour that separated star from public. I tell all these people that come on our show, come on dressed nice. Don't come on looking like the girl next door, the neighbor next door. The fans don't like you. They don't want you to be real. They don't want you to look like them. They want to be able to look and say, oh, I don't like her hair, or I do, or look at that jewelry.
I should pay him $500 more. Huh?
No, but it's true. Why do you think Marilyn Monroe still lives today? Because Marilyn Monroe was the icon, the ultimate sexual, glamorous, fantasy movie star. Women copied her. Men dreamed about. I said to Jane Russell, who was my buddy, I said, you know, Jane, guys wanted to marry you and come home and find you in an apron. But Marilyn Monroe, every guy wanted to just sleep with. And that was what it was. Marilyn just made men happy. And looking at her, men would smile. And looking at her always, like when she's in Niagara walking and her ass is shaking, and they said it looked like Jell-O on springs. Men got excited. So these stars made us emotional or sexual or whatever. Unfortunately, some of the stars that I go to see today, with the exception of Charlize Theron, who's exquisitely magnificent,
She's my favorite.
they don't do it. They look
Charlize
like
Theron.
Charlize Theron. They don't do it. These actresses today just don't do it. They look like mamby-pamby nothing people. But Laurene, any movie she's been in, even when she's in jeans, she played a drunken slut, cigarette smoking, bad mother in a film. I mean, a real wicked bitch. And I love that performance because it's so not Laurene. She was even glamorous. I mean, how are you glamorous with no makeup? Your hair is hanging like frizz. No,
I wasn't glamorous.
and she's a drunken, old, beat up, ex-hippie smoking tramp.
Some stretch, right? Anyway.
No, it was a
Actually,
stretch.
Jane Doe wrote, Laurene is the queen of glam. Shopping with her was so much fun. She's always ready for a red carpet and wows the camera every time. And you're right, Angie.
It's true. Who
Thank
said
you,
that?
Angela
Angela.
Joseph.
Thank you, Angel.
Angie Baby.
Angel.
Yeah,
Angel.
Angie Baby knows shit from good from Shinola.
Okay, so now you guys, our next guest is actually in the studio.
Hey,
so we're gonna bring him in. Go ahead and bring him in, Rebel. I'm sorry, Rebel. Love you, Rebel. Hello.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hi.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I've been
Good.
listening to your show all day.
Okay, good. So then you know what you're in for. But before I can introduce you, how do I actually correctly pronounce your last name?
You're like Europe without the up.
Okay, you're okay. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredible talent, Wesley Eure. Hello and welcome to the show.
Sure, I'm talented, but you can't pronounce my name. What the heck is going on? Yeah, he's the most amazing star. Now, what's his name? I can't remember
That'd
that.
be great.
I have to tell you, the reason why I know who you are, besides like the Toolbox Murders, but let me introduce you to everybody first, and then I'm going to tell you the story. So this is my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
Welcome.
Hey, Ron. Yeah.
Welcome to the crazy house.
This is our like guest and co-host of the day, Laurene Landon, which you guys might have met because she's been working for a long time.
I'm a huge fan.
There you go.
You are?
Wait, are you single?
Absolutely. Huh?
Are you single?
No, I'm not.
Oh, if you were, I would have fixed you up. She's looking for a husband.
And I'm Jimmy Star. It's super nice to meet you. And
Jimmy,
we have a chat room.
you have more IMDb credits than anybody I've ever seen. It's unbelievable.
And they're all fake.
No, they're not. I'm working a lot, and now I'm like a producer, so I'm working as a producer in lots of things. So I'm loving the whole thing. But yes, I work a lot, and I really only go. I'm an extra in everything. I never. Yesterday I spoke in a movie, but I don't ever speak. I just go to meet people because I'm a publicist and I need clients.
And he's a stinking actor. He's lousy.
So Jimmy,
Yeah.
how do you get in all those movies? Do you just call somebody and say your friends that are producing movies says, "Hey, give me a spot"?
Yeah, it's not hard to get in them. You just gotta know people.
No,
I have 300,000. I have 300,000 Twitter followers, and everybody who follows me and I follow, they're all producers and directors and stuff. So get more active. I'll get you more active on Twitter, and I'll help.
Let me explain how and why Jimmy get all these movies, okay? I'm in the business 58 years. I made movies in 1959, okay? And my career went nowhere. Now, in my old age, and because of our show and the fact that Jimmy's PR goes all over the world, Smart producers say put Ron and Jimmy in. This way they push the show and they get
Smart.
free PR. And that's the only reason we get in. Jimmy yesterday had 3 lines and I suffered because he forgot the word "and" in the middle. I kept saying, Jimmy, it's and. So you know what he did? He wrote it and stuck it up on the kitchen counter where the camera was.
I love it. Jimmy, did you practice like the 3 words? I am so happy. I am so happy. Did you do that all day?
We practiced it a bunch of times, and yes, but that's okay. I don't care that I suck. I get in them because people want me and my promotional abilities, so I don't really care. And I always basically like do the same thing. So I can never be like a real serious person. I can't cry, and I can't do all. These two can. These two are excellent actors, and you're an excellent actor. Me, I'm like I suck, but people want me just because I'm popular.
Well,
that's a great skill. I mean, what you guys have created is amazing. I mean, to create a platform like this with so many great followers and to be able to use that to augment your life in that way, I think it's brilliant.
I know, it's like fabulous. So hold on, we have a chat room full of people. Say hi to everybody in the chat room, and then I'm going to tell my story.
Hey guys, everybody in the chat room.
This is terrific. So, okay, so when I was younger and you were on Land of the Lost, which was one of my favorite shows.
I love that show.
Now, the reason that I was a fan of the show, honestly, wasn't for you. I knew I was gay, but I didn't really know what gay was. But I had the biggest crush on Spencer Milligan. Like in the world, like in my whole life, like anytime I would see him, I would be like, God, I wish I could marry him. He is so gorgeous. And I watched the show all the time. I mean, I love the show too. But if he wasn't on it, I probably wouldn't have watched it right off the bat because he was so gorgeous and so fabulous. And I was so jealous of you because you were like that, even though you had him as a dad, I wanted him for a husband.
Okay, wait a minute. You were going to marry him? You wanted to marry? Well, guess what? I worked with Rock Hudson on McMillan and Wife. And
I'm glad I'm in the middle, guys.
And I wanted to marry Rock Hudson.
I'm glad I'm in the middle.
I don't care if I
was like little.
No, I didn't even want to marry Rock. I just wanted the honeymoon.
We also have to say, because you live in Palm Springs.
I do.
Palm Springs.
I live here and in Puerto Vallarta. Half the year, half and half.
Oh, you have to come to our parties.
Yeah, we have to get you.
Everybody you know is at our house.
Yeah, you'll know everybody.
Now, Jimmy, I just talked to Spencer. He calls. Now, Spencer played my dad, Rick Marshall, on Land of the Lost. And Spencer's, I think, 80, 82 now. And he lives in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. He's retired. He lives in a fabulous estate, doesn't need money at all. And he'll call me like out of the blue. He goes, hey, Wesley, this is your papa calling. We just start laughing and giggling. And you know what? It's amazing. He's like my real dad in real life. And Kathy, who played Holly on Land of the Lost, is like my sister. I talk to her every couple of days.
That's right. Kathy Coleman, you guys, too, which it's so funny because I used to have a crush on her, too, because she totally reminded me.
Well, you were a busy crush guy.
I can't help it. No, like when I was young, did you ever see Escape to Witch Mountain?
Of course.
Okay, well, I looked a lot like the kid in Escape to Witch Mountain. And when I was young, and I had a huge crush on Kim Richards I didn't know what gay was. So I thought she was gorgeous. So I used to sign autographs as the kid in Escape to Witch Mountain when I was young because I looked just like him. And I would tell people that I was him. I always wanted to be recognized.
Buck teeth and all.
Yeah.
Can you, Jimmy, can you imagine all the collectors now with all the autograph shows?
I know.
Somebody goes, look, I've got an original here.
Yeah, I got an original, and it's definitely because we met the guy. Then I told him that we met him, actually. But Kathy Coleman is fabulous. And I see behind you have a slee stack.
I do. A fan made this. It was Enoch, the talking slee stack.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the props and everything you have are like so freaking cool. It's not even funny.
Well, they were created by Mike Westmore, who's the big makeup guy who has Face Off, that TV series.
Yes.
That's his family, the Westmores. But he also did all the Star Trek monsters, and so he's amazing. He created this stack, almost like the Gorn from Star Trek.
Was that fun for you to be on Land of the Lost?
Oh my God, are you crazy? I was doing Days of Our Lives at the same time. So in the morning, I did all my scenes on Days of Our Lives in the morning for 3 years, and I would be like crying that my girlfriend's leaving me and I'm having problems. And then I'd run over to the other studio and run from dinosaurs going, run, Holly, run, there's a dinosaur. So it was very schizophrenic.
That is freaking like awesome.
Listen, we had the most incredible set. It was 2 sound stages. One was a jungle with a lagoon and a cave. The other was the biggest chroma key set, the blue screen, green screen that had ever been done in Hollywood. So it was like a playground every day.
Our business is absolutely incredible. We are so many people. We enjoy being each person. And what am I talking about? It's so dull.
Oh, I don't know, but Garrick is in the
funny.
chat room. Let's say hi to Garrick, everybody. Hey, Garrick Lee joined
Hi,
us.
Garrick.
Listen, Garrick, I heard that Loretta Christensen smacked you in the
Loretta
face.
Christensen.
Yeah, Loretta Christensen smacked you in the face because you tried to grab her breast. Is
Yeah,
that true, Garrick?
Anyway, he's
And
there.
wait a
Everybody's
minute.
saying hi.
And Garrick, grabbing her breast is enough to turn anybody gay. I mean, she's not exactly the woman you want to grab. You want to grab Laurene next to me.
There you go. So hold on. So let's go back. Okay, so you guys know, Wesley. He's done a lot of cool things. Land of the Lost. Another thing, because he's the star of the Toolbox Murders, and that's like a horror. That's like a, what do you call those? Like
It's a cult classic.
A cult classic. I was
classic.
trying to think of the name.
Yes, Steven Spielberg. Steven. Oh my God, my mind just went blank. The sci-fi writer.
Wait till you get to be 80.
Yeah, he's 80.
I'm getting close. Trust me, I'm getting very close.
Well,
I got white hair, and it's all happening.
I'm 80 and the brain cells are gone.
Oh my God! But Stephen King once said that if he had to rent 10 movies for Halloween, Toolbox Murders would be one of them.
I know, it's a great movie, and they've remade it now a whole bunch of times since then, which the remakes are nothing like the original.
Right. And what was amazing, because I was playing all these good boy characters. I was on Days of Our Lives and a bunch of different TV shows and game shows and hosting and stuff like that. So it was my first time to get to play a villain and a killer. And it was amazing because I'd heard about, when you play like you play like a villain, you get into that part. And I got so deep into that part, it took me 2 weeks when the movie wrapped to get out of that headspace where it was just like, it was so dark. I think Heath Ledger even talked about it when he did the Joker.
Yeah, he did.
Where are you now?
He's in Palm Springs.
Okay.
Palm
Oh,
Springs.
he's close.
I'm forever, every
he's very
movie
dark.
I'm in, I play a mafia killer because of my Brooklyn accent. And I'm trying so hard to get out of it. And now I'm in a movie with Laurene called Clown Fear 2.
Clown Motel 2.
What did I say?
Clown Fear. That's another movie.
That was the movie I just finished. All these fucking clown movies. I mean, I get confused. Anyway, Laurene plays my... No. What are you not in Clown Motel? Yes, you are.
Oh my God.
I'm
going crazy
You
now.
talk about brain failure. Laurene plays my wife in Clown Motel 2, and I play General Milan, a general in the United States Army. And I can't tell you how nice it is to be able to speak correctly and not say, "Hey, over there, Louis, give me the goddamn gun."
Hold on. I want to go back to Toolbox Murders because number one, it's a cult classic. Everybody needs to watch it. It's the original. There's all the other ones that came out. There's like 2 or 3 of them, but
it's a slasher film, It's got some nudity in it, so it's R-rated. So be prepared.
And it also, because Ron is like the king of like Hollywood, and he like knows all the Turner Classic Movie stuff. He was friends with lots of the movie stars from
King
it back
of Hollywood.
in the day.
That sounds like a big fucking.
I know,
bullshit.
that's what they've been writing about you.
Yeah,
Hang on, let me finish.
Wait
what
a
I'm
minute,
saying.
I have to stop you because I don't like that title. It makes me out to be something I'm not. I was best friends with Jane Russell forever. She was my sister practically.
Wow, nice.
And I know Betty Davis, and I knew Lauren Bacall.
I knew Betty Davis too.
All the legends of Hollywood.
movie with her.
I grew up with the legends of Hollywood.
Wait. What?
And that's why I got that title.
Hang on. What movie did you make with
I did
Betty
The
Davis?
Wicked Stepmother with Betty Davis.
There you
I
go.
got
Wow.
a review for it. It was her last film.
Yeah.
There you go. So hold on. So go back.
Ron, you've had the most amazing life. I mean, to actually know that those people, and I'm watching all the old movies, the Turner Classics, and everything.
Oh, wait a minute.
And it's what an incredible honor to have been part of those lives.
I haven't even gotten into it. My mother was Jenny Gabriel, a silent movie actress. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, a woman came to my house, and she had these eyebrows that were all the way up here, like a clown. And when she left, I said to my mother, "Ma, why does that lady have those crazy eyebrows?" My mother said, "Shut up, that's Gloria Swanson."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
My mother was friends with Mae Murray,
Oh,
Gloria
man.
Swanson. My mother was friends with so many of the old movie stars. She only loved Valentino, but of course she was too young to play with Valentino. He died before she was older. But I mean, I grew up. My father was a set designer. My mother was an actress. My sister's was married to Evan J. Anton, a producer. So I've been in the business forever.
So hang on though. Go back to the Toolbox Murders. So in the Toolbox Murders, he stars alongside Cameron Mitchell, which you should know because Cameron Mitchell was the fourth lead in How to Marry a Millionaire.
Yeah, I never
And,
met him. I never
and
met
Carousel,
him, but I know who he is.
and Pamela Ferdin, who was a regular on the Paul Lynde show, and you knew Paul Lynde.
Very well. Paul was crazy.
And,
wow,
He was
Wild
crazy.
Paul. Oh, Wild Paul. You
Oh
know,
my God, the stories. Oh my
I
God.
got stories to tell you.
Oh, I got some I can't tell. They're so vulgar.
Oh,
Yeah,
But,
he's but he
I
will
mean,
tell them.
I tell about when Paul was sober, I loved and adored him. But the minute Paul got loaded, he was the most evil, vicious, hideous queen you ever want to meet. You want to knock the shit out of him.
Well,
But
my friend Michael Arrington, who's in Vegas, he did a Paul Lynde one-person show, which was spectacular. It played at the different hotels, and it was just amazing.
He's doing Paul Lynde.
He's not doing it right now, but he toured with it. He was had a permanent spot in Vegas.
I'd love to see that because
And Peter Marshall did all the voiceovers because he does the Hollywood Square box as
Right.
part of it from some of the answers. And so Peter went into the studio and recorded all the questions.
I was on a flight to Las Vegas with Paul Lynde, and I said to him, "You know, Paul, if you weren't a comedian, what would you like to have been?" You know, I would like to have had a pizzeria in Texas. I mean, and then Toady Fields was sitting opposite us, and she had to buy 2 seats because she got fat. So Paul is saying, "Toady, what did those seats cost you?" And they were going back and forth. And I said, "You know, I wish we had cell phones. In those days, I would have videoed that. It would have been a great show." But Paul Lynde and Toady Fields were absolutely vicious to each other and hilariously funny. I've got tons of Paul Lynde stories, tons. I met him at a gay bar in New York called The Fawn. He was doing Bye Bye Birdie, and I was there with a group of friends. I think I was like 19 or 20, and I was a really good-looking young fella. And Paul came up to me immediately, and I didn't know who he was, and I just thought he was weird and very effeminate, and I didn't like effeminate men. So I passed him on to my friend Pat, and he flipped over Pat, and he took Pat to California with him. And about 3 months later, Pat called us up and said, "Could you all get together, get money? I need to get a ticket out of here. He's going to kill me." And he became very violent, drunk, and he hit Pat. I think Pat hit him with an ashtray because he tried to throw Pat off a balcony. And we had heard that he years before, he really did throw someone off a balcony. So Paul Lynde had a very secret history, but he was a very funny, talented man. But as a human, he was a mistake.
Wow. That's sad.
I'm telling it like it is because history has to be truth.
So let's make
Hollywood history has to be the truth.
So let's switch it up then, and let's go to the fact that not only have you been in all these great things, but you're also like a writer, director, behind the scenes developer, and you developed Dragon Tales, which is hugely successful. And in our picture, you even had your Dragon Tales dragon. She's gonna bring right now.
There she is. There's Cassie.
Tell us a little.
I'm a prop actor.
Tell us a little bit about Dragon Tales, because when I put the thing up that you were like coming on the show, lots of people were talking about Land of the Lost, and then I had a lot of like mothers with kids and stuff talking about Dragon Tales, and I was like, holy shit.
Well, Dragon Tales was PBS's #1 show. It's animated for kids. It was on for 9 years. Produced by Sony Pictures and Children's Television Workshop, which is Sesame Street. And I'm one of the creators, developers of the show. And it turned out to be this amazing show with live shows all around the world. It was literally in every country nonstop for many, many, many years.
I love that.
And we have lots of kids sing the theme song and Dragon Tales, it's almost time for Dragon Tales. Come along, take my hand, let's all go to Dragonland. And thank you. Well, you know, I got to sing the theme song in Land of the Lost too, the opening and closing theme songs back in the day. But Dragon Tales became, you know, this huge show, and of course it was PBS, so it was spectacular. I mean, the values were dynamite. We have a lot of parents that come up to me and talk to me about how they missed the show. I lecture at schools around the country, and I teach kids how to write books. I have a program called Anyone Can Write a Book, and I come in to from 100 to 750 kids in a room and an auditorium, and we all write a book together. So that's really kind of created part of my, some of the some of the most amazing adventures of my life. It seems like everything I've done has been for kids. You know, I hosted a game show for Nickelodeon called Finders Keepers, you know, Land of the Lost and Dragon Tales, and I write kids' books. So I think I just never grew up. I think that's probably the
Didn't
problem.
they bring Land of the Lost back and it bombed?
Yeah, they made a Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah, I did a scene with, it was Will Ferrell, the Sid Marty Krofft at Comic-Con. Sid Marty Krofft are
And
the creators.
it bombed, though. It wasn't.
Bombed. It won the
show.
Raspberry Award that year.
Yeah, because your show was great. I remember my mother loved your show, by the way.
Thanks.
My mother was, you know, actress fantasy. And we always wanted to see where you guys would wind up in what time zone.
You should have had somebody, though, make you a shaka.
We do. Well, Phil Paley, who played Chaka, he you know, people make dolls for us and toys, and it's pretty spectacular. It's amazing. After it's been like 45 years, and the show still has this huge fan base. It's just been really wonderful.
45 years.
45 years.
Oh, you really make me feel old.
How could that be?
You would have been 35 when it came out.
No. I was just going
to 1974, 5, and 6.
Yeah, well, I was born in 72.
Oh yeah, right. 64. Wow. So I knew I was gay at it. I knew I was a homo at a young age because I would have been 64 and 72.
Honey, you were born a homo.
That only makes me 8. So like when I'm 8, I'm like sitting here wanting to marry the guy who played your dad. That's hilarious.
Listen, where do you live? Don't give me the place. North, south, or east, or west Palm? Where are you?
Center of Palm Springs.
Okay. Are you in Hollywood town? What is it called? Where I want to move. I'm dying. I'm looking for houses, but they're so fucking expensive now. And where's it called? Hollywood?
No.
Movie
colony.
Movie colony. Did you know I could have bought Carmen Miranda's house years ago for $150,000, or I could have bought the fat guy,
Laurel and Hardy guy.
No, not Laurel and Hardy.
Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello. I could have bought the little short guy's house for about $150. Jimmy and I went to look at a dump, a horrible little, it almost looked like a trailer. It was $850.
Whoa.
Oh, they've gone crazy.
It is. It's bizarre.
Are you in movie colony?
Springs, here in Palm
Close by.
Oh, because if you're in movie colony, I'd never speak to you again.
But I live half the year. I've got a house in Puerto Vallarta, and I spend 6 months in PV. So it's just amazing down there. I'm there for the winter.
Yeah, I love Palm Springs.
So you guys, you also know him from the movie Chomps, which was the dog, like the computerized dog or whatever, like thing. It was a dog. We have a dog that looks just like that.
Really?
With Valerie Bertinelli, Red Buttons, Chuck McCann, Conrad Bain, which is another one who I used to always like.
When we were doing the movie with Conrad, he played Valerie's dad, and Valerie was my love interest. In fact, I got to give Valerie her first screen kiss. So I beat Eddie Van Halen, and but Conrad was working, and he kept coming. He said, "Wesley, I got this new show. They want me to do a new series," and it was Different Strokes, and he was just rewriting it, writing it, and getting the pilot done, and to work with people like Chuck McCann and Jim Backus. I mean, all these people. It was extraordinary, the cast. It was Hanna-Barbera's first live action movie from animation. And it was, I invented a mechanical watchdog that was like a secret, had sirens and stuff, a home protection system. And everybody was in that movie. It was spectacular. Even Joey Bishop's son was in it.
I ran into Jim at LaGuardia Airport coming in from LA. And I went up to him and I just out of the blue said, "Oh, come on, do a little Mr. Magoo." He turned around and said, "Pay me." And then he smiled and walked away. And I thought, shit, I wanted him to do, Mr. Magoo. I guess Jim Backus wasn't happy being Mr. Magoo because he was what I Married Joan with Joan Davis years ago. And Jim Backus played in Rebel Without a Cause.
Okay.
He played Rebel Without a Cause. I mean, he's a hell of an actor. And I think I was stupid doing that. I was at Shelby Goodman's house in Beverly Hills at a big party. And who was there but Christopher Lee and his wife? And Christopher Lee, I went over and I'm talking to him and I said, Christopher, nobody could do Dracula like you can. You were actually fabulous in it. And he stood there and he looked at me stern and he said, "I am more than Dracula. I have done films and Dracula is not my best work." So I looked at him and I said, "Well, gee, I can't remember any other film you were in."
Oh, you're mean. You're a wicked man.
But he was a bitch. He was not nice. Christopher Lee was an arrogant, nasty person. And his wife came over to me and she said, "Forgive him. He's in a bad mood." I said, "Frankly, I don't give a shit." And then the best part was I was leaning against the light board in the dining room, and the lights were going up and down. And Paula Margulies said to me, she said, "Ron, do you think they want us to go home because they're flickering the lights?" And Christopher Lee turned around and said to me, "It's you that's flickering the light." He didn't like me at all.
So you also did a movie recently called Sins of Our Youth not too long ago, and with Ali Sheedy, Mitchell Musso, Lucas Till, and Joel Courtney, and those are all like really big names. Tell me, was Ali Sheedy like, is she nice? Because she's like one of my favorites, but I've never met her.
Do you know what? I'd never met her either. The thing about doing movies is sometimes you don't meet the people you're in the movie
all
with.
the time. All the time.
It's crazy. You know?
I was in a lot of movies where I just got so excited, and I found out after reading the script that I was in none of the scenes.
Well, I've seen them. I was in a couple of movies, and I would go to see the screening, and there would be suddenly big stars, and I go, I didn't know they were in the movie.
You gotta love it. So
exactly.
what's like a bucket list then? Okay, so you've done a lot of cool things. Let's say you could work with any male and female actor that you've never been able to work with before, and we're gonna let you do this one too. Any male or female actor that you've never worked with before, and if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in?
Oh, wow.
And that way we can do some kind of like trivia things. And then did you hear those questions? You're going to answer them too, because we haven't had you answer them. So
It's about time.
I feel like I'm on a quiz show. It's like, oh, I'm so excited. I hope I win some rice-a-roni.
No, but you see what happens when you have a movie star legend. They think it's all about them. This bitch thinks this is her show, and she's complaining because she's not getting airtime. She got more airtime than two of her last movies.
Oh,
that's actually true.
So now,
Unfortunately.
you know, I got to tell you, I'm starting to think Christopher Plummer wasn't so wrong. I'm not just
no, Christopher Lee.
Christopher.
But you got to remember one thing. Laurene Landon is one of my closest, dearest, and best friends. And Laurene and I play like this all the time, even off camera.
Always.
We act like husband and wife.
So hold on. We're going to let Wesley, you go first. Male and female actor that you would love to have an opportunity to work with. And then we're going to go back to her. And then we'll go back to you for the movie and then back to you for the movie.
Wow.
All right, you go first.
Hands on Meryl Streep.
Oh, my God. Everybody answers
What's
that.
with the Meryl Streep?
Well, hello. What has she got? 13 Academy Awards? I mean, come on.
I don't think she's that great of an actress. I think it was all Hollywood hype. I mean, there's Angelina Jolie. Really? Angelina Jolie is a far better actress. Did you ever see her in that, what do they call it, movie?
Gia?
I mean, she did a performance.
Okay, but this is his thing anyway. He gets to pick. I wouldn't pick her, though. I would pick Charlize Theron.
And, of course, I would pick Angie for Angelina Jolie.
All right, so, okay, that's your female. Give us a male.
Oh, boy. I can't think. I just went blank. I'm old. You know, I'm very
hold
old.
on. Wait. Keep thinking, and we'll go to you. Female that you would like to work with.
Female Tom Hardy.
That's not a female.
I love Tom Hardy. He's my favorite actor in the history.
No,
of the
he's
world.
a good actor though.
He reminds me of Marlon Brando.
And nobody's ever actually mentioned that. Nobody's ever said Tom Hardy, so that's a new one.
Tom Hardy, he should have won for legend. He's the greatest chameleon we have since Marlon Brando, and I knew Marlon Brando very, very well because
she went out with his son.
Yeah, and
nice.
we lived together for many years. I used to go up and see him in prison.
Okay, so let's.
Tom Hardy is my favorite actor alive. I hope to meet him.
Now you have to think about a women one though. We're going to come back to you. So now you have to do a male.
God, I'm being so cliche. De Niro. I would love to be in a dramatic scene face to face with De Niro. I think it would be such an honor just to watch him work.
Everybody says that.
De Niro can't remember lines anymore. Now they stuck a thing in his ear. Yeah, they stuck a microphone in his ear, and they read him. He's old. He's like me. I don't remember lines anymore either. I go on set, and they say, "You know your lines, Ron?" I say, "Yeah," and of course I don't. I just invent I say whatever I think it should have been said.
You know, I just watched the special, the documentary on Mae West, and they were talking about her last film, how she had to have the thing in her ear so they could tell her lines.
Absolutely, and they also had to tell it breathe. Because she's so old, she used to forget breathing.
All right, wait, your turn. Female. Yeah.
I would say any actress that has a lot of rage inside of her.
Betty Davis, Rita.
She did with Betty Davis already.
But wait a minute, not Betty Davis.
I worked with Betty Davis already.
Barbara Stanwyck. fabulous lady when she got angry and pushed men around and got.
Think of
drunk.
somebody more today, though.
Somebody.
I'm from yesterday. What do I know today? I know Sophia Loren.
You have great teeth, by the way. I mean, they weren't
Thanks.
far away.
It's my dentist in Mexico. He's fabulous.
Yeah, I love it.
I was going to say, if they're yours, can I borrow them?
Yeah, here. Yeah.
No.
So hold on, let's go. Okay, so movie.
Wait,
if you,
wait. We
wait.
got to get a woman from her.
well, she's still thinking. So we're going this way. So
My favorite movie is Wuthering Heights with Marlo Braun and Sir Laurence
But
Olivier.
that's old. You got to get a young one. Jimmy insists.
Anything Tom Hardy's in.
well, I have to. I don't even know which one is Tom. Is Tom Hardy's not the guy who played Venom? Is he?
Yes, he is.
Oh, I love Tom
He
Hardy.
looks like a young Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
He should have won for
Get a
Legend.
beating after
He should have won
no,
for.
I like him.
He should have won
He's
for
not
Legend
hot.
for playing the Craze Brothers. He's by far the most talented actor in the world.
Next to you, Wesley.
Next to you, Wesley.
Okay,
I'm not casting a movie. You don't have to suck up, okay? You got 140 credits. What more do you need, Jimmy?
So what about let's say if you movie wise, what movie would you have liked to have been
Any
in?
Star Trek movie. I would so love to be a creature in Star Trek. And
Me-
you know,
Me
I-
too.
I just, you know, we do the conventions all the time. We go to the autograph shows, and Kathy and I played Holly. We do the Star Trek convention because our writers were the Star Trek writers. So we were
Okay.
kind of the bastard child of Star Trek. But everybody that got to play oh my God, a monster. Count me in.
A good friend of ours, who can I use his name?
I don't know. Who
Has
it
a
is.
script about aliens. And I never ask anybody, can I be in your movie? I won't do that. You know, I won't put them between a friend and a hard place. But this friend, I would say, I have to be in your alien movie because if I don't play an alien before I die, I'm going to come back and haunt.
Yeah.
Because I am dying like you to be in a.
We actually though we had Walter Koenig on our show, and
Now, you know, Walter Koenig created Enoch.
Oh no, I didn't know
You
that.
see, I love Walter.
Walter
Koenig.
Koenig, you know, Chekhov. And we
Chekhov.
see him at the Star Trek convention all the time. And David Gerald was our head writer. David was the writer of, he created Trouble with Tribbles, the Tribbles in Star Trek. So Walter, when Enoch was introduced, Walter wrote the script introducing Enoch. So I see Walter every year at the Star Trek convention. He comes by, he's got his hat on, and he's kind of hunched over, and he's walking, and goes, I should have gotten residuals. I should have gotten residuals from Sid Marty Krofft. every year. It's fabulous. But he created this character.
I love it.
I had the biggest biggest crush on him growing up. I had the biggest crush on Chekhov. I was madly in love with him. I used to write him love letters all the time. Him and
So
him and the
happened?
guy
I
on
like
Time
Bones.
Tunnel.
So
I
what
like
happened?
Bones.
Him and the guys on Time Tunnel. Robert Colbert and James Darren.
Oh, James Darren, I
Yeah.
met at an appliance store, and he's very short. I had no idea he was such a short fella, and he was with his wife, and he was absolutely charming. It's that famous one where you go get. In those days, we were getting the Walkman, and he was buying a Walkman at the counter with me, and we chatted. And he was gorgeous in person, beautiful teeth also,
And he was in Star Trek. So
handsome.
We also had
handsome
Denise
guy.
Crosby. I think her last name was Denise Crosby. She's from the newer Star Treks, I think, with Patrick Stewart. We had her on the show also.
a couple of years ago, I got to do a film in Palm Springs with William Shatner and Christopher Lloyd and Gene Smart. It's called, and we filmed it here in Palm Springs. And I got Kay Ballard a job. I got Ruta Lee a job in it as small
Ruta
cameos
Lee!
and stuff like that.
I
So
love
I got to play myself, and they, you know, and so being with Shatner, of course, they wouldn't let you talk to Shatner, even though you're in a scene with him. And it was, you know, no photographs before he got his makeup on and his hair and everything. And the weatherman, or one of the news reporter here, the entertainment reporter, is a huge Star Trek fan, and he got a job as an extra just to meet Shatner, to be on the set. And he goes, Wesley, can we meet Shatner? I go, they won't let us meet him. You know, I mean, we can't take pictures or anything. But I took him over by the dressing room and we took a photo by the honey wagon with his name on it. That was as close as we got. It was, you know.
I am so against that. I talk about it all the time. I was on a film called That Kind of Woman with Sophia Loren and Tab Hunter. Now I sneak over and sit in George Sanders' chair next to Sophia. And I'm trying to talk to Sophia, and one of the guys came over and he said, hey, soldier, because I was dressed as a soldier. He said, you know, you can't talk to the star. And I had spoken to Sophia in Italian. And Sophia looked at him and she said, oh, no, he could stay here. And and the guy was pissed off because the star of the movie wanted me to sit next to her. And Sophia said to me, your English, no, my English is as bad as your Italian, but I'm enjoying it. And we sat there and we chatted. And I was on that shoot for 3 days, Grand Central Station and Central Park and the lake.
Wow.
And they never stopped me. And Tab Hunter and I developed a friendship that lasted until Jimmy and I saw him 2 weeks before he passed away. Wonderful. Tab Hunter was probably one of the sweetest, dearest, most human beings I've ever met. Sophia Loren was absolutely magnificent and a lady and charming. And I used to make her laugh because I guess I said things in Italian that didn't really work. And she would have that wonderful, that big Sophia laugh.
Wait, hold on. We have to go back.
Wait a minute, I just want to say one thing. I think that snobbery sucks. And I'm glad we don't have it today in the movies I do, because I would walk off a film. I've been known to do that. I will walk off a film if somebody says to me, you cannot speak to the star, because I would say, oh, the star doesn't pee?
Also, he's not in any movies with Charlize Theron or anybody.
No, I have news for you. If I was in a film with Charlize, she would love me.
She would actually.
We would have the best. Charlie, I don't understand. Now I don't like William Shatner. I don't care about him.
That's his people, though. That's because I've met him. He was
give a
super
shit.
nice.
I don't give a shit. Who the fuck does he think he is?
He's
God?
super nice. I met him. He was great.
Well,
He is very nice, and I got, when you do these Star Trek conventions, people pay like $150 to have their photo with him, and it's like a factory, and he'll go and stand there, and they say you can't talk to him, so you go stand next to Shatner, get your picture, and move on, and it's $150. And because they have a line, out the door. It's quite amazing.
Terrible.
It really
That's
stinks.
terrible.
We went to a thing in New York where RuPaul was in a room, and $300 to go speak to RuPaul. I said, he's a fucking drag queen. Who's going to pay $3 to see a guy dressed as a woman? Who gives a shit? And the line
was like 8 blocks.
Unbelievable. These autograph shows are really, they're amazing to watch. We get to do them around the world. And some of these stars that have been on these prime shows, especially the sci-fi shows, it's extraordinary. I mean, the lines and the money and stuff like that.
What is wrong?
Hang on, because we're almost out of time, and we can't just end it in the middle of a conversation. So first of all, what was your movie? What was your movie that you would have liked to have been in? What movie would you have liked to have been in?
I told you, Wuthering Heights.
Oh, Wuthering Heights. Okay, so she picked
or
Wuthering
any movie
Heights.
with James Cagney as well. But with Merle O'Brien and
so then I want to go back to Wesley, because I collect
Marlon Brando. Anything with Marlon Brando.
I collect action figures and stuff. Does your Land of the Lost character have like its own Funko or anything?
Oh, we have mine doesn't, but we have Sleestak and Pakuni Funkos, and we have Viewmasters and game boards, and tons and tons of stuff. In fact, somebody just sent me the other day. They turned me into a Lego. So the cast of the Land of the Lost a Lego now.
Are you familiar with DePatty Freeling?
Yeah,
DePatty Freeling. Long time ago. They used to do cartoon characters and that kind of stuff. I was the original Spider Woman. They rotoscoped my body, and I was the original Spider Woman.
How cool is that? I didn't know that.
That is so cool. You could go to these autograph shows and sign for days.
And the cartoon was on Saturdays, not that long a period.
And I know a lot of guys that would like to rudo her body.
But they rotoscoped my body for about almost a month, 3.5 weeks, doing all kinds of stunts, jumping off of buildings. And as you know, I'm very athletic. And I was the original Spider Woman. I was.
That's
cool.
Now that we
Patty Freeling.
Now,
I thought you would know who they are.
I got to tell you, Laurene, in the world of fans and sci-fi and animation, you're a goddess. Then you realize how amazing that is in this world.
No, I do not. Not at all.
Well,
she's our
I didn't even know
goddess.
what it was, honestly, at the time. They just hired me because they
she's
felt sorry for me.
Because she's gorgeous.
Right.
Listen, I just did a convention with the lady. She's in her 90s now. She was the model for Tinkerbell in the animated Disney film. They used her. She did all the movement and stuff, and she goes to these autograph shows, and she's got lines out the door to meet her, and she's the most delightful woman.
I love it.
I have
got
to
1 minute.
I have to have the floor. You're all bragging about your
1
bullshit.
minute.
I don't care. Jimmy Star and I are in a comic book.
Oh, that's true. We do have our own comic
And I
book.
would like
Yeah.
everybody out there to get the comic book because it's a fun story about how we went with the psychic to a insane asylum that's been vacant for 35 years and the spirits we saw and
Go,
what
go, go.
happened.
You got
Anyway, tell about the comic
Go
book.
JimmyStarsWorld.com. You can get it. So let's go back to Wesley real quick. Do you have okay? You guys can follow Wesley on Twitter. You guys, it's WESLEYEURE. Follow him on Twitter. Do you do all the other social media?
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, WesleyEure.com. Yeah, I'm all over the place.
You guys, you need to put the WesleyEure.com on your Twitter because I didn't write it down. You should put that on your Twitter in your description. There's a place to put that.
Oh, okay.
And that way people will go to send them to your website and they can, do whatever. We want to thank you for coming on the show. It was a great show today.
Wonderful.
We want to
Great
thank
to see
Laurene
you.
Landon.
Wait, does Jimmy have your contact
Yes, I
number?
do.
We're
He
going to
does.
invite you and your wife are invited to our next party. We're having an open to the world party, and it's everybody you know. Ruta Lee, I love and adore.
I love Ruta.
Oh, I love her to pieces. So if you see her before me, send a kiss.
So everybody, that's Wesley Eure. We want to thank you for coming on the show. Chat room, everybody. You guys
Yay,
were great.
Wesley!
Galactic,
Laurene Landon,
everybody.
we want to thank you so much. We'll be talking to you soon.
Take
Bye,
care,
everybody.
Wesley.
Bye,
See you
guys.
guys next week. Bye-bye.